Reboot is going to dodge that. Zello leading the charge. It's going to try find an isolator frag quickly, and he'll do exactly that to Mezcal. Over towards jungle, running down. Davkost trying to get away with his life. He will, but the bomb site is going to get relinquished over in favor for Nexus.
Yep, able to just get that site taken out early and unable to get any response. Good shots from Urson to deny those rotates. Moore does have that diffuse kit and smoke, so he's not going to be able to have any space to go with it and won't be able to escape with his life either. Track set up in a good off angle to catch some players off guard as they go to mid control.
Ooh, very nice, but he will get traded by the orb. I'm looking over at Davkost. If Erison comes out of ramp, he will be walking into his death. However, Bibu somehow is able to get the kill at long range. And right now, it is just more coming from short in a one-up this round. He knows where both of them are. He will get mollied out, and he will subsequently get double swallowed there alongside Connector. This duel right now, it's about to say between B10 and FaceCrack can change it all. Now it's between him and Mezcal. One more kill here could potentially secure the round. Erison waiting through the A bomb site to hold for an extremity push, but in the meantime, we'll try come up Connector. The problem is, you've got Moore and Mezcal just holding you in.
30 seconds left. Time's ticking. The frags are clearing out. There's only one left. Cement trying to do what he can. Trying to run back and adjust, but they're mollied off underpass. But we have a fast replay coming on out.
BCN opens up the site. The HiGHL strikes for 2. However, the trades are good there for Invictus. Raga at range snipes down the sniper. He still hasn't had any impact whatsoever. But the problem is, look at how low HP Semonite is. So in this 2 versus 2, originally I was quite scared to see Semonite dancing around, approaching up, reads what HiGHLiGHTS was doing. He understands.
Phew, barely made it. Oh no! Freeze! There's no escape! Damn it, no ammo. Stay there, I say! Surrender. This time luck isn't on your side. Let's check it out. Shit!
What the hell is that? Oh crap! You missed, motherfucker! What the fuck is going on?
Wow, this must be my lucky day. The link is in the description box.
That they're able to get this buy-in this time around still. I think that foot's shown. There's 2 players here. Davkost unable to find anything as Raga and Simon are able to clear them both and just hold as they creep on in and just set up for the first engagement.
Lovely trade there from the HiGHLiGHTS, once again proving his worth on this team. Now it's FaceCrack, the Russian. He has to step up alongside Bibu, and goddamn he will. Over towards bench, gets 2, does so much damage to the 3rd, and allows Bibu to strike. It's not on his side. Both players will spot each other out. HiGHLiGHTS will try to get the bomb down, but it'll actually plant for Bibu. No time. It is swindled, and Bibu has won because of the clock. Finally, Invictus, they get a second round there. Very nice rotations from him. And this is a round now where Invictus, after the opening pick here, will be looking to close down this 8 bomb site offensive.
Trying to adjust the pace to find that opportunity, but they're missing the shots. Davkost able to tune in with a lovely double. 1 or 2 of these fast play rounds to try to adjust things. Going back to this mid control once again, and Invictus are all but used to it as Vestal and FaceCrack are able to tune in. Cello able to find 1, but Davkost with that AWP.
So normally more in bait and switch. See if one player can take contact first and bait in the second. However, who needs a bait when HiGHLiGHTS just strikes?
Yep, and he's just trying to set up for that follow-up and more. 8% HP, surprisingly doing a little, but a good adjustment from Moore to be able to help on out as Bibu's taking. And as he tries to find the space to just barely stick it on the edge, he's just going to easily be spammed through triple.
I doubt this is going to be where they end, but it's going to take some presence towards underpass. And as well, a lovely, lovely play there from Davkost. I like what he's gone for, but he's actually...
Matter too much. FaceCrack in a dangerous position. He knows there's players near him, and he wants to engage them, but it'll be Mezcal instead to find and more frags as this continues. And slowly creeping up. They want to go to this B site. Zello will be able to find that trade. get that space once again, but he's been able
They
to...
don't anticipate him to be here. FaceCrack just can't die. FaceCrack will do one better and actually almost get the kill. Bibu will steal it and he will just punch more digits into his stat line. But it's Xello, a 1 versus 3. If there was ever a player I wanted, it would be him. He strikes on the first, knows about the presence towards CT spawn, but he won't anticipate more. And it will
what's
be
going on and get comfortable with their opponents to be able to frag them out and just show them what they can do. And you see, once again, Meshol with
completely negates all of it. FaceCrack now up against 4 players. He's had a flashbang to support him, and he chooses to go for that gunfight. That flash can't position, and he will survive. Okay, that's not a bad scenario, because what he does is it's just everyone's focused on him right now, and because they're focused on him
and have the space to find more of his team following up, and this volley's going to be disastrous. It's going to force them in. Davkos able to find that first, dropping on in. The flashbang is fantastic, but they can't take down Dav until he finds 3. Raga with a double, but as we set towards the end of this half, it's going to be a very important retake, and Raga needs to win this duel.
winning that duel is monumental. However, he hasn't done it without a cost. He is now 3 HP, so Xello is going to have to do what Davkos did, but more. He's been spotted out, and all this is now very tricky for Nexus. FaceCrack has the bomb in front of him, and Raga, as I've just said, 3 HP. They know where he is, they can hear him, and this should be looking like a knife. The nade is going to go awry, but the bullets will connect. Lovely comeback from Invictus
Mirage,
there.
now that Invictus are rolling into this, they're able to take these fights, and as they go into this B site, it's going to be important for Nexus to be able to warm back into this.
Lovely so far. They've dropped the bomb, and they're just killing everyone. The rotations, look at it, so clinical. All 4 players for Nexus right now, just hounding down Bibu, Davkos, and FaceCrack from Market. More recently in Part X, it's a lot quicker. It just really scares. You can see Davkos is now having to play behind it. However, in the meantime, Erison has got...
He's finding more and more rotations, and he can at least find the one. It can delay and stall, and he even finds the double, which is just beautiful. As now Dav has to do what he can, unable to find the response. Poor timing on the utility. Once again, it's Bibu able to find that damage response, but his position's known. Moore's been identified. Zello to take him down and use the USP with a beautiful space work. Very similar playstyle to Nexus at the moment. Very good default, and Bibu just lines up the headshot.
2 KD, 127 ADR. This Egyptian youngster, he's been brought into this roster for a reason. Maybe not the most experienced, but he's showing us why with his supreme individual performances. And well, speaking about individual performances, these deagles, they had to sing, and they'll hit every note spectacularly. Meztau will even pick up sparring, and Invictus, they're going to execute fully over towards the B-bomb site. You're up close and personal in an awkward position. Definitely can't be utilized properly, and because of that,
Finding allow FaceCrack to get into position and then immediately rotate over. That means FaceCrack's able to catch them in on the jump, find the double on mid, and that just means there's too many positions to worry about. Zello's able to find the double, which does create some space for Invictus, but still, Zello's trying to scope in, find more, as he is able to lurk on through. Even able to take down Urson and just use these flashbangs, as he now has dropped the fabled 30 in regulation, as Davkos is able to have a chance to get comfortable with this weaponry.
Throwing early mid presence and now coming back towards A. Raga will eliminate one of their prime entry, but FaceCrack, he's been there. You saw the statistics of his first frags, and he'll just power through. Finds the player connector by accident, and they'll do a nice little bait and switch. More going through that closer angle, catches them with the amount of counter utility and the amount of primary zones currently in the hands of Invictus. More will just tap away. He reaches 13 kills.
We'll be having to start on T side, and after having such a dominant T half, especially with Nexus walking right into them.
Ooh, wow. A flurry of frags. There's not too much else to break down from here.
Long now. Just all trying to throw that smoke. A little bit awkward on the timing as everyone's blind, but FaceCrack will cover the MAC-10 on Zello. That was so important in the previous, and they've been able to open up this B site. The only rotation, Urson finding one, Davkos finding that proper trade immediately after, trying to push through the molly, but even with utility being thrown out, Moore is still able to take him down, cement that last one. They'll be patient enough for it, as it might be outside. We have that initial presence, BTN able to take down Moore. Finally, the first man pick. in favor of Nexus, but it's going to be ramp for this fight, and Urson has to desperately hold on with Zello.
He will hold on nicely. They will just utilize and stop that push. The bomb is trying to be picked up, but that whole round stems there on Meztal. If he's able to at least go 1-for-1, maybe on that ramp push, or sorry, on the in the inner push.
Of value as we continue with this Nuke game and other future maps in this tournament as we continue, or any other matches you might be interested in. Cement's trying to hold on, and Nexus are actually starting to be
tough, but little they know is going to be a wrap from Mini as well. But Zello from Heaven is there to support Semonite.
And going up from the vent, Raga's actually able to find one on the rotate. VTN just wrapping outside in a more traditional way to find that pick as Davkos gets clean out.
Take this beat bombs, however, look at the rotations and the response from Nexus. First will be Semonite that falls, and Erison now should
set up Urson to absolutely destroy them. So all the Tech 9 shots are missing until Moore is able to get the spam to win on out. VTN has found a response though, but not before that ramp angle smoked off, forcing them to only have a single door to access, and a flank from Meztal, able to take BTN down. Raga with that flank, able to get a quick response. Players flanking players, running
the kit, a smoke and 2 flashes, and currently, I was gonna say no one was looking ramp. So Bibu will fall. Davkos in a 1 versus 1, M4 and flash, positioned towards single door, will peek out on a timing, misses Xello, and he'll get smoked off now. Xello with that kit is just gonna stick, as I said. Flash completely blinds him. Davkos going through the smoke. Lovely play from
that bomb defuse. So just flashbang out behind it, force him to be blind and take that engagement. That said, even though there is a bit of a win, Nexus able to win those engagements.
Doesn't seem to matter though. That's a nice kill. Will it matter? Seemingly not, because Xello does a lovely little bait and switch, crazier things.
Yeah, he certainly has the potential still, and with one of those AKs going down early, there might be an opportunity later on to just pick it on up, but they're just quickly going for this ramp play. That molly to try to force Urson back further than he already is. That direction. Now, he's left 5-on-3. Urson's willing to push through the smoke. Facecrack's able to find an opening off of it. And yeah, this looks to fade any second, and they're trying to hold for it, but Raga's way too good on that transfer.
That is incredible, very clinical, and Davkos will be falling the way as the rest of his team. A series of unfortunate events
to work with, and that fake smoke to allow them to push forward could be what spells disaster for everything. But Meztal finding that first pick. Do they clear this trophy room?
Oh, they line up.
Looks like they were considering it, but they lined up exactly, and he finds a 3-4. They just failed to trade effectively. Punished in most situations. Have once again an aggressive play. Raga able to get punished, but now the outside support comes in. Facecrack's able to situation, and now Facecrack just needs to find this engagement before the Heaven shot comes on in, and that means that Invictus should be able to seal this with a 6-9 half.
Taking that primary zone of Mini and outside, you can see. Wait, Davkos got a knife kill. Hold on a second.
Breaking the window, but that's okay. They're setting up for hell anyways. As Facecrack's able to get that initial first on VTN. Meztal going for that close engagement. Not able to work on out, but quickly climbing up the ladder as that nade's thrown means that they're able to get the control of that A site until Facecrack comes on in with a second despite the low HP. And more of that flank means that bomb stuck in hell.
Wow.
As Facecrack's able to get...
They haven't really invested much into it. I think there was a lone deagle somewhere there, and Semonite getting revenge, and that knife kill is actually kind of huge because it means that genuinely Xello might pull out a AWP early on this T side. He's got 6k.
There it is, in a fantastic position to get multi-frags, but we have a dink getting ringed on, and Facecrack will finish off the frag onto Raga. Handle being left in a 4v5. They want to try to get a contact in ramp, but it's more with the beautiful off angle and a double to tear apart Nexus's chances, and it's just Zello left with AWP.
Way too many members unnecessarily, and he's literally on 1 HP here. Okay, finally, the Israeli will dispatch
this B site itself. It's maybe a bit obvious what they're going to be going for, though Zello's still able to land that fantastic shot in spite of it. And Cement just trying to hold those rotations into that B site.
He's doing really well with holding this now. However, he will just fall straight to the hands of Bibu. But because ramp has been relinquished, Dav actually denied the bomb. He gets a dink through the door onto Raga and forces him to reposition. The bomb's been dropped. 3 versus 3. This is now very winnable, Trevor.
How do they have to grab that bomb so they can just try to replant it again. They will have the space. They can plant it open for double doors. But Bibu using the off angle. His teammate jumping, but the 180. It gives him a chance, especially with BTN pushing behind Mestal. Afterwards, he fails to find that frag. And Face Crack's position's being held by Zello.
Only Xello in somewhat of a lurk role outside, and more will get caught off in the open. Davkos will finally find something with the AWP. Smoking towards control as well. Just halts them momentarily, but the bomb is coming out towards double.
Yep, just taking so much damage. Able to find a frag at least, but Raga with that nade from Cement is able to take them down, and it's up to Bibu on this lurk. But Zello's on a very late rotate, so he's going to be able to get a free shot here. It'll be up to Mestal to do what he can, and Punish Invictus caught off guard, unable to rotate quick enough and be taken down.
He doesn't get. They haven't heard him. They have no idea that he's actually down right now, and he will then be able to utilize that on the headshot for Face Crack, who was trying to go an early play towards.
Bluff as Mestal's play aggressive towards it, not hear any players towards that position, and it's the aggression from Bibu, able to find one, though Submit able to immediately find that can give him potential flake onto A here. But they have to deal with this outside player first. Mestal able to find that first on BTN. And he's just being careful with the engagement. And it means that as they try to dodge and ignore him, Davkos is able to get the pick on Cement. And now Zello and Urson are both surrounded, stuck in this vent position. There's no way for him to find the frags. Urson's able to find the first in response at least, but the trade's going to come on in. Mestal able to
Face Crack once again. It's going to be a similar fight to what we've seen, but it will be the IGL of Invictus to close that out. So now Nexus, they're forced to go towards the A bomb site. They're forced to try and execute here. Mestal, good for 2. Considering his teammate on the back of the bomb site wasn't able to get anything, he had to double up, and he will now. This retake is going to be a little bit difficult, but it's still very possible. The only issue is Face Crack in the vent is just charging up, and that was a little bit ballsy from him to go without his teammates there, but Raga has to get an ace 1v3 to clutch this up. However, Face Crack is going to hear the footsteps, and that's going to cause an immediate reaction. Face Crack, oh, very lucky there, dodges the AWP shot, goes for more, is able to double up. That is amazing from him. It's completely thrown a spanner in the cogs for Nexus. Urson, this lurk he's on is not going to have as much potency because they're not going to be as scared because they know there's so many players towards Secret and they can afford to just make sure they're focusing on that lurk. Davkos with his AWP hasn't got another AWP to worry about, and while it is just going to be the rifles to farm up Raga in a 1 versus 4 here. No hope. There's so many players and so many different positions to worry about, and it will
be, but it'll be up to more likely getting taken down. He's just barely able to get to the ramp door before he's taken out, and this B bomb site is theirs for the taking. But FaZe Crack and Mestal have something to say about it.
The rotations were quick, but they weren't quick enough. 3 versus 4 for Invictus. They have got this very nice reaction. They have 2 towards Secret, but Urson completely dodges that flashbang. Bibu now from ramp. They will be expecting him. And he will strike. Will he anticipate Raga close? Yes, I think he's heard him, but because he's such low HP, Nuke, and that's one of the main reasons potentially why it's so much closer. You don't have that outlying feature. That Molotov, they force it out so nicely, and now the Flexi is going to come in. Bibu playing anti-flash. They don't use the flashbangs at the start, and Bibu would be looking at a wall. They'll go 1 for 2, and Invictus International
live for the next round and still have a chance, as even though Nexus do get them. So we can see what do Nexus want to do as they review the timeout once again, figure out what they want to try to do.
He'll try to lose it again. Raga will not win the duel, but look how much damage he's done and more. 3 players in front of him. He's going to
go towards ramp, figure out a way to hold, and just try to anchor the best way possible. BTN, that bomb is left in the open. All that damage from the nades coming on in. Cement taken down. Urson finally finds the response, but it's 3v2. Time's ticking. That AWP Davkos is set up close. They know exactly where that bomb's being planted. Bomb denied. 7 seconds left. Zello not going to have much to work with here. He's able to get that frag to defend himself, but he needs to make sure to stay alive.
He's very cautious of face cracking. You see that Molotov behind back reb is directly because of what face crack has been doing. Timing.
They're stacked up on this site to try to anchor it, but they don't land a single one.
That is huge.
Execute perfect.
Meztal even expects the fact that Meztal knows that BTN is outside. He saw his legs and he's off that. Davkos from heaven, face crack from Mini, and with the AWP falling, and the A1S will subsequently potentially. They might not even throw any condition. They might just go for it. Last round and a half, potentially. Bibu up close and personal will get the first. Mezcal on top hut will trade him out. He's being pincered from every single angle. As soon as that happens, face crack, however, face crack comes from main, and he gets 3. The IGL forces us into give some sort of support if needed, and Raga always crept through, and he'll find face crack in the side. Very nice advantage now for the T Heaven, and I think he's just as Raga actually is walking around Heaven, and I think he may have been heard. Davkos finally though does find success with this big scary place with more just. Yeah, so like Moore was holding for him. There's only so much he can do, and because of that, the Nexus members were down on the fence. They will rocket their way up, and sadly, Bibu will be only good for that first. Yorpa, who's already got a kill in this round, but because he switched to an AK, it could give him some sort of success. 5 bullets left. Hunts down Semonite, hits the one tap. HiGHLiGHTS. Oh, I saw his name in
fire accuracy. So would be actually useful in a wild situation like that, I'm pretty sure. But not as useful as Meztal getting that first pick through the smoke on
hiding, and he's going to try do what he's done before.
Zello left out once again, and they have to go back for it. They have to try to fight. Bombs down. Face crack just finding more. And once again, he finds that double on the lurk outside. They haven't learned how to deal with this. And it means there's just those 2 left, and they're just making 2 obvious sounds. Cement's able to get that trade, but he's just going to be left in a crossfire. So even though he wins that
with these grenades, and the outside smoke shall be placed. The only problem is, though, Davkos solo aggress towards ramp will just force Erison 6 feet under. In the meantime, face crack yet again. The Goliath of outside. It's his area. 32-21. This IGL is on smoke, and especially with that second kill onto the opposing IGL. And Davkos has... Invictus have just relinquished the A-bomb site. They've got 3 players in secret, and it's working, because somehow face crack has found a 3rd.
The bomb's all the way just at the back. He has to try to go back to get it, and he'll be denied that. As Davkos takes him down, they're going to try to catch them rotating to that B site, leave them exposed. They're able to take out that first op, but the second one goes on out. Davkos focused on the angle, and that's when the lurk comes on out, and Moore just...
Moore went towards me. It's because face crack got a kill from outside. It does not matter right now, because Raga... Oh, that is perfect. He reads this round like a Harry Potter novel. Face crack, though, could have something to say about it, and surely they don't lose a round with a 2-man advantage.
By that Molly means it's up to Urson here to find the right timing in that duel, and he's able to win against that opper of Davkos. It's up to face crack to find that timing, find that initial pick, almost finds a second opening onto that A site, and he has to just try to fight these players. He is able to bait that op shot out, only gets tagged a little, but Cement
face crack as well isn't actually going to go down with them. Similar, it's just dancing around on the side of them, and that's an early advantage for Invictus. This time, Nexus, they don't have that luxury of a 2-man advantage. If anything, they actually have a 2-man deficit, because Semonite has been caught.
Yep, Davkos will just focus on the angle directly. That Molly to deny the peek towards the ramp position, make the vision hard, but Urson's able to find that stairs of face crack as well to be able to push on outside. Raga's able to win that initial duel on the rotates, but he needs to be able to come alive here, find more, and that's exactly what he'll do until face crack finds that response. Zello with the trade, leaving Bibu in the 1v2, and Urson's able to take him down, trying to rotate this second map, certainly being brought close as we have another round. Davkos able to get the pick on Zello.
Well, that answers questions.
Slowly start lurking around outside. Urson picking up that AWP in response. Raga trying to go aggressive again in lobby. It doesn't work out though. Mezcal finds the punish, and with that, they're going to follow up. Molly out this hut. Forces him to try to push from lower. BTN only able to find the one as that A site's also cleared out, and they'll just decide to
Do what he was doing at the beginning of the first site, where he was getting very proactive.
Aren't going to be able to come out. So as they set up for this off angle on the peak, easy flick for Zello, and we have two players immediately rotating in, and they're in fact
Two players head on, one of them with the bomb, and he will miss the mark. In the meantime, Davkost will take down the hero of the last round of the first overtime, and Meztal has such good awareness and understanding where BTN will be, and you were talking about fortifying the A-bomb site. Well, now it's been diminished. Urson trying his luck going up heaven, and they've actually both dropped off, which is quite surprising, and that will just mean that more will easily away. But I think it's being recovered quite nicely. It should anyway, unless... Okay, Semonite in a 1 versus 3 there.
Series over.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think I can see them doing much if they do
Whoa.
lose one. BTN is running out of ammo there. Does go to the Deagle. Oh my god, that Deagle. What? BTN. How has he just got 2 there? Still dancing around with his secondary. Will reload that instead of his A1S. And this round should be full in the way of the Romanians because the HiGHL has just gone nuclear.
Benefit in buying those Deagles and OT. Might as well burn that money. Get those secondaries to help on out, which means you're left able to just have 5 players duel outside, take Meztal down.
It is all fine and dandy, literally as I predicted. The only problem here, though, is that you have Davkost on top of a box alongside with FaceCrack outside, and they're going to easily eliminate them. Invictus only have 4 players. They literally don't have a player in the server right now, but they're still going to potentially take this home. They're going for the perfect round, but the perfect round is going to be shut down. No way. Just disconnect, and Invictus still win this out.
Exactly what I was talking about. The setup for the fast A play. They're willing to take that risk, run immediately straight in. Meztal is left completely blind. Not enough players necessarily leaning in early, but they was able to find that initial frag, and it sets up base rock. Crack to find 3 and shut down the push single-handedly. Beautiful spray transfer with that M4. They mean Zello's left 1v3, getting spammed down by the bullets and more to close it out. 22-19. Invictus seal it in.